Hello YouTube and welcome to my channel, My Shipping Status. Today I will share with you the top 5 of my favorite ships in the Disney animation movies. So let's dive into the Royal Navy given to us by this smiling mouse. So many ships, God, so many ships.
Number 5.
From the movie WreckIt Ralph, the ship composed of Vanellope and Ralph. Ralph is tired of being the villain in his video game, and he's determined to prove his worth to the other characters of the arcade. During his adventure, he comes across a bugged character named Vanellope inside the video game Sugar Rush. This is the perfect example of a surprising friendship and misfits uniting. They were the ones who were never cared for nor believed. They were both so used to rejection that the first reaction they had when they met each other was nagging, and for Ralph's part, even being aggressive. These two characters are nearly identical, even though their physical appearance and their story are ridiculously different. Ralph is always pushed aside for what his peers expect him to be or to do. He's expected to be the villain and is ostracized because of this. So about Vanellope, I think that by now you might have guessed that the bugs and the glitches are actually a metaphor for handicap. And because of that, she was always rejected and treated differently by all those around her. Their friendship is very sweet. They understand the pain and the loneliness the other feels without having to express it with words. Vanellope shows Ralph another way to live his life. He does not have to stay in this little box, and he can be much more than what is expected and imposed on him. Ralph is sure that to prove his worth, he has to be a hero. Vanellope, on the other hand, shows him that he does not just break stuff. With her trust, he's able to create, for example, a cart for her and a track to train on. Vanellope is the first person to actually care and respect Ralph for what and who he is. And Ralph does everything in his power to make Vanellope's dreams come true. I really enjoy their relationship as a platonic one, as shown in the movie, a bro TP.
Number 4.
From the movie The Fox and the Hound, the pairing composed of Todd and Copper. It is the story of a strange friendship between a fox, Todd, and a hound dog, Copper, supposedly mortal enemies. This is the bro TP that broke my heart into a million pieces. I watched the movie again to make this video, and I always wondered, why did I love this movie so much, but still didn't want to watch it again? A pack of tissue and an hour and 22 minutes later, I remembered. Yeah, because we keep talking about the trauma of Bambi's mom, but we never speak, for example, of the brutal murder of Rox's mother. In less than 5 minutes after the movie starts!
A few moments later.
This is kind of a friendship, Romeo and Juliet type of thing. I feel like the whole point of the movie is not to tell a story nor to teach a lesson, but to make a statement. Todd the Fox is an orphan adopted by a kind elderly woman. And Copper the Hound dog is adopted by the hunter living next door. Because of their background and their education, their lives are predefined for them, whether they want it or not. This movie shows how racism can impact children, force them to grow too fast, and make them do things they do not want to. So basically the story and their relationship is that they are best friends and they are forced to hate and to grow in fear of the other. I also think that what is truly strong in the message delivered by this movie is that what can be a given in the animal world is not normal in ours, and that the fact that people can identify to one or both of the main characters is a problem. This story has two messages. The first is, no matter what background and what family and what history you have, you can grow past it. The other point of view you can have from this movie is you cannot change the world. The world is what it is, but you have to try and be the best that you can be for yourself and for the people you love. It's amazing how I love this story and I hate talking about it.
Number 3.
From the movie The Beauty and the Beast, the ship composed of Belle and the Beast. A cold-hearted prince gets cursed by a fairy and turned into a beast. His curse can only be broken once he was able to love another and earn her love in return. So I know that this ship is very predictable and very vanilla, but it's a romance that actually helped me a lot during a time of need. This romance and story helped me get through middle school. This is the time during which you have no idea of who or what you are, that you have no idea of what you're capable of. And this is terrifying. I spent my time reading books and I was everything but a social person. I had no idea of how to communicate with my classmates and was very awkward around them. I've been 4 years in the same class and I went through hell during that time. And it only got worse after that, but... Attention, attention, as the rest of this part will be a bit depressing if you do not currently want to grossly mop on someone else's life because, let's face it, it's none of your goddamn problem. You're invited to directly get to the next part of this video. For those of you who still want to stay, I'll use Potato Girl to keep your spirits up.
Hello!
Are you all set? Are you sure? Let's go then! And surprisingly, I did not identify with Belle. I identified with the beast. At 12 years old, I was sure that I was nothing more but a monster hurting all those around me. That my brain had a defect and that I was going to spend the rest of my life alone. And I watched this movie. We do not see why the beast became this arrogant and violent and selfish person. I always felt like he was so tired of being alone, of being judged, that he just pushed everyone away. And I also think that Belle started to become more and more tolerant towards him once she understood this. I do not preach abusive or violent relationships, but when you're so deeply scarred, your number one priority is your protection. You do not think of the impact you can have on the others. You just try to do what hurts less. The rose was actually the beast's biggest scar and secret. The beast is trying to protect and hide it, the same way we do our trauma and our scars. He gets furious against Belle because he didn't want anyone to witness his demise and his punishment. He starts rampaging to make her run away, far from him, because if she's not there anymore, he doesn't have to suffer. When he gets back to his senses, he goes to try and rescue her, a bit out of guilty conscience, but also because he'd rather see her safe than himself. So this romance and this movie gave me a lot of hope for my future in a time of need, and this is why it's so important to me.
Number 2.
From the movie The Prince and the Frog, the pairing composed of Tiana and Prince Naveen. It is the strange encounter and adventure between the hard worker Tiana and the cursed prince Naveen of Maldonia, both turned into frogs by the voodoo witch Dr. Facilier. This pairing is composed of two characters who are strictly the opposite of each other. The Prince Naveen of Maldonia has a sweet and easy life. He was always attended, he spent his time partying and spending some time with some lovely ladies. When his parent cut him off, they still left him a personal butler to help him. He never had to do anything with his life, and thanks to his titles and birthrights, he can easily marry a rich girl whose dream is to become a princess. He was always treated as royalty and he liked it. He's selfish and frivolous. To him, everything is supposed to come easy and without effort from his part. Tiana is the daughter of two poor but hard workers. She grew up in a loving and caring family, but she always felt like she wanted and deserved more. Even as a child, she didn't care for no prince. Kissing a frog was just a no-go. She became a very hard worker herself to earn her place in the sun, but she let her goal and her dreams consume her. The self-appreciation of herself and her life came through her hard work. The second she would stop working would be the same as giving up. Her behavior is the same as one of a shark. The second she stops moving, she'll drown. And next, ladies and gentlemen, in all of your theaters, the shark and the frog. They interact for the first time with each other while they are at their lowest point. Tiana's dream is about to collapse, and Naveen's turned into a frog. They do not trust each other, but they're desperate. Once Tiana is turned into a frog, their common goal, becoming human again, forced them to work hand in hand. Their opposite way of life and their opposite way of thinking push their limits and open up their vision of the world. Naveen never worked. He feels useless and powerless each time he has to do something work-related. I feel like he is also ashamed of not being able to do anything. In the scene in which they have to cook the gumbo and he has to mince the mushrooms, Tiana does not laugh or criticize Naveen's mincing. She shows him how she does it and helps him. This kindness warmed up his heart. He was taught and not laughed at. When you start working for the first time, even if you really want to do your best, you can feel petrified by the idea of becoming ridiculous or useless. Having a good mentor can help you open up and have your confidence grow. The first experience is always decisive and can alter all your future decisions. Tiana's kindness to tutor him has no ulterior motives, and she even encourages him. Tiana, on the other hand, was always working, and she was not working just to make her father's dreams come true. It was all about proving her self-worth. She worked very hard because she believed that she was unable to bring or to do anything else. You should know that having fun is not something that comes easy for some people. It can actually be very hard and frightening. In the beginning of the movie, when we see her refuse to party, she seems like a stuck-up person and a killjoy. Later, you actually discover that she's not even able to dance, because she never did. Tiana refuses to go out with her friends, but not because she has too much work, but because every time she refuses, she gets more scared to face them. But Naveen does not listen to her fears and makes her dance. When he sees that her legs get tangled too much, he takes her in the water, where she'll feel more at ease to move and to dance. It's his way of repaying her kindness. Dancing is also one of the only things he knows how to do, and by teaching her, he proves to himself that he actually has some skills. For me, this couple is all about becoming more than what they thought of themselves, by learning to trust themselves and another person, and above all, letting this other person in.
Special mention.
For once, my special mention will not go to a ship, but to a French actress, Dorothée Pousseau. She's the French voice actress of many characters, as Charlotte, Vanellope, Gidget, or Carrie. She's also Margot Robbie's and the Olsen sisters' voice actress. It's thanks to her that I fell in love with so many good characters. And because it is my video, I use it to give a big shout out to this amazing actress. I know that there are others, many talented voice actors and actresses, but she's my favorite. So thanks a lot, Dorothy, for your performances.
Number 1.
From the movie Tangled, the relationship between Rapunzel and Eugene Fitzgerald. The proof in the movie that a magical-haired princess and a sassy thief can be one hell of a combination. When Flynn Rider, or Eugene Fitzgerald, has to help Rapunzel fulfill her lifelong dream, see the floating lights. This ship deserves all the applause in the world, as it is, in my opinion, the best depiction of a realistic romance and relationship in a Disney movie. On one hand, you have the golden and light-hearted Rapunzel. Rapunzel was never hurt, nor tainted, nor broken by the world. As she spent her life in a tower, and having interactions only with her abductor and a chameleon, she is still socially in the mindset of a child. She has no judgment and is very curious and open about everything. But she has been brainwashed by her mother to be afraid of the outside world, so that she'd never be able to escape. On the other hand, you have the completely messed up Eugene. Imagine, you've spent your life alone, dreaming another life to the point of creating yourself a whole new identity. You have nothing truly stimulating and have no friends whatsoever. You end up turning into a criminal, not because you have no other choice, but because you feel like nothing else is worth it. So, better make the best out of it in the time that we have left on this earth, right? So basically this pair is composed of a Hufflepuff and a Slytherin. But the couple is not only composed by what the characters are individually, but by what they give and bring to the other. Before meeting Rapunzel, Eugene felt like his life and the entire world around him fit into a small box. He opens up only when he starts to realize that life is much more than what he thought it was. Rapunzel's hair does not only shock him because it is magical, but because it is the proof that he has not done it all, and that life can still be full of surprises. It is the proof that the world is not filled with people who want to use or abuse him, and that he may be able to open up because someone may want to hear about his true self. We often say that it is the people around us who help us define who we are. True friends do not force you to mold or to change yourself. They stay by your side and they encourage you and accompany you when you decide to move forward and to change. Eugene does not change because Rapunzel wants him to. He changes because he wants to become a better version of himself. Because he finally has someone who will be there all the way and who will never show any kind of judgment. For Rapunzel, Eugene is her knight in shining armor. He's the one who helped her take a leap of faith and jump into the real world. Just by existing and staying by her side, he was able to calm her fears about the outside world. He did not try to shield or protect her at first, and it was the first time she was actually treated as a human being and as an adult. Little reminder of what was Rapunzel's life before Eugene's arrival. Gothel was an abusive mother. Some parents have children to leave a part of themselves for posterity once they die. Some people feel like they need to feed on the youth of their child and need to feel better with themselves by belittling them. Gothel does just this. She showers her with her love and then calls her ugly, sloppy, and unable to take care of herself, while Gothel was good enough to go outside. Rapunzel grew past this woman who spent her entire life using her, belittling her, destroying her self-worth, her confidence, and her dreams. Then comes this unknown man who truly admires her, is impressed by her, and is curious about her, with no negativity in his mind. They were both lost and lonely, but they both found in the other this understanding, caring, and trusting person they always longed for. They are for the other this hope for a better future and a better life. After knowing this happiness, they can never live without it. To finish on Tangled, I'd say that this movie is for me the story of hope and rebirth. You're not defined by what you are, but by what you choose to become. So for me, Eugene and Rapunzel are both truly my #1 ship in the Disney animation movie. So, this video is over. I hope that you liked it. A big thank you to all the artists who let me use their art for this video. You'll find all the links in the description below and on my Tumblr. As there are so many ships in the Disney universe, crossover or not, it would be very interesting to talk about it, so do not hesitate to do so if you like. On my YouTube, with comments, my Facebook, my Twitter, my Tumblr. You have a choice. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for your love and your support. You're amazing. Have a very, very good day and see you soon for an update on my shipping status.
And I love you, random citizen.